We have another health alert now. It's about an alarming spike in the number of children diagnosed with autism. New data just released by the CDC shows a 15% jump in just 2 years. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jen Ashton is here with the details. So walk us through what the CDC found, what it means.
Right. Big headline, George, from the CDC. They track the rates of autism roughly every 2 years. And over the last 2 years, they've seen a concerning jump.
Autism is a modern affliction that devastates millions of families around the world. And for such a modern epidemic, shouldn't we look to our modern food supply for at least part of the blame? I think so. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician with 20 years of clinical practice. We know from available research that autism is much more common in babies who were delivered by a cesarean section and not by vaginal delivery. We also know that babies who are not breastfed, who are supplemented with formula, are also at higher risk. One of the main reasons that breastfeeding is so important for human brain development is because of the sialic acid content of breast milk. Breast milk indeed is one of the richest sources of sialic acid on the planet, and most formulas, whether they're soy-based or dairy-based, are very poor sources of sialic acid. And some research suggests that sialic acid is absolutely necessary for proper human brain development.
Welcome to our video about a new study on Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ASD for short. Michael here, and I'm your correspondent today for Science Maniatics. ASD is a complex developmental disorder that affects how people communicate, socialize, and behave. It can make it hard for people to talk, understand others, and make friends. This disorder is often diagnosed in childhood and is considered to be a lifelong condition. The study was led by scientists at Rutgers University, and it took 7 years to complete. The scientists wanted to understand more about the brain mechanisms of ASD and how it affects people. They used cutting-edge techniques, like growing human brain cells from stem cells and transplanting them into mouse brains. This helped them discover new information about ASD. The researchers found that a specific gene mutation called R451C is associated with ASD. This mutation causes an overstimulation of brain cells, which is higher than in brain cells without the mutation. This overstimulation, or overexcitation, causes an imbalance among the brain's neuronal network, disrupting the normal flow of information. This is a significant discovery, as it could lead to a better understanding of the underlying causes of autism and potentially new treatments. This study is important because it shows the potential of a new approach to studying brain disorders. It also helps us understand more about the underlying mechanisms of autism, which can help with the development of new treatments. However, it's worth noting that autism is a complex disorder and there are likely to be multiple causes and contributing factors. It's important to know that autism is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1 in 44 children have been identified with the disorder. Studies suggest that autism could be the result of disruptions in normal brain growth very early in development. It's also important to note that autism affects black boys at a higher rate than other groups. Studies have shown that black boys are diagnosed with autism at a rate of 1 in 36, compared to 1 in 54 for white boys. This highlights the need for further research and understanding of the factors that contribute to this disparity and the need for interventions that are culturally responsive. Another study from the University of Central Florida examined the link between the consumption of processed foods during pregnancy and the rise of autism. The study found a molecular connection between a common food preservative called propionic acid, PPA, and autism. PPA is commonly used in processed foods as a preservative and flavoring agent. When neural stem cells were exposed to high levels of PPA in the study, the number of cells that differentiated into neurons decreased, while the number of cells that became glial cells increased. Glial cells are special cells in our brains that help support and protect our brain cells called neurons. They help the neurons work better and stay healthy, like helpers or assistants. Imagine if you had a group of friends at school and they helped you with your work, answered your questions, and made sure you were safe. That's kind of what glial cells do for our brain cells, which help to form the insulation that allows nerve impulses to travel quickly and efficiently, and helps to remove waste from the brain. In some cases of autism, an excessive buildup of glial cells, gliosis, can lead to inflammation in the brain and disrupt the communication between neurons. This disruption in the brain's ability to communicate can explain certain symptoms of autism, such as repetitive behavior and difficulties with social interaction. This could and does lead to inflammation in the brain and disrupt communication between those neurons, which leads to the same outcome. The study is a first step in better understanding the relationship between PPA and autism, but more research is necessary before clinical conclusions can be reached. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments section. We hope you learned something new about autism. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. And here are some intriguing questions for you to think about and comment on. Why do you think it's important to study autism? What do you think could be the future of treatments for autism? Do you know somebody that has been affected by autism? How has it affected you and your family? How do you think we can address the disparity in autism diagnosis among Black boys? What are your thoughts on the findings of the study linking processed foods during pregnancy and autism? Do you believe that the results of the study on the effect of propionic acid, PPA, on neural stem cells could have implications for the development of autism? Do you believe there is a connection between food and autism? If so, then why do you think foods that raise the chances of getting autism are promoted and still allowed in stores? Let us know what you think in the comments section.